Hi, hello, mabuhay. What's up, Biwenyos?
Good day, Philippines! Mag-hi na daw, Bicolandia.
I am Michael Morales.
And I am Jean Reyes, and you are listening to KariBUkan. This is brought to you by Budyong, the official student publication of Bicol University, College of Arts and Letters.
Today is our 23rd episode and it is titled Abante, Babae, Rise of Filipino Women in the 21st Century. Kaya naman sit back, relax, and join us by listening. Hi, Jean. Kumusta naman?
Ito okay naman po, kuya. Nakakapag-cope pa din naman in everyday life. How about you?
Mm, I am fine, Jean, despite the hardships that we are going through since online class pa rin naman ang learning modality natin ngayon. And, di ba, this March, we will be having our midterm examinations na rin, right? Kumusta naman ang ACADS mo?
Well, I admit medyo mabigat na din ang workload, pero kinakaya pa rin naman.
Mhm. Yeah, same on my side, 'di ba? Same on my side. Since yun nga malapit na din tayo mag-midterm and syempre part din talaga 'to ng learning process natin, no? That minsan nagkakaroon din tayo ng labis na kapaguran from online classes. Imagine sitting in front of your gadget for more than 3 hours, iba pa dun yung paggawa mo ng output. Pero yun nga. Anyway, since we are talking about the month of March, we are also celebrating Women's Month. Ikaw, ano ba ang initial thought mo sa celebration natin this month?
Well, that's right. It's really a good time for us to talk about it and have an open conversation. Bilang babae, I'm delighted to have this platform for us to talk about us women na minsan ang hindi na-recognize sa mga karapatan at madalas na nakaka-encounter ng inequality sa pagtrato. Kaya naman ko gusto ko ding malaman, what is an empowered woman for you?
Mhm. I believe that's a good question. It's really important for us to talk about these things, 'di ba? Since medyo hindi gaanong maganda maybe sa iba yung pagtingin sa mga kababaihan. For me, an empowered woman is a woman who is able to stand for her own choices. A woman who can see her worth despite the social judgments or norms set for them. A woman who strives for the betterment of herself, and also a woman who join or take a step to have social reforms in our society. Dati kasi no, women are not given much opportunity as I was saying earlier. Ang tingin lang ng karamihan sa buong mundo kapag babae, dapat sa bahay lang, tagapagbigay anak, nag-aalaga ng mga anak, di ba? Tagapagluto at tagapaglinis ng pamilya. Superior sa lahat ng pagkakataon noon ang kalalakihan. Maybe up to this day sa ibang family or other culture, women's voices were not given much consideration and not typically heard. Women before nga are not given much opportunity to study. Like in China, in the ancient China, for example, were frequently simply educated in social duties and proper behavior with the hope that this knowledge would help them um, to become good family assets and good wives. No? Parang pang-asawa lang talaga yung mga kailangan nilang um, malaman. As a result, women who were able to attend school in ancient times were more often exemptions than standards. Bihira nga lang tayo makarinig ng mga ng women philosophers or experts from um, past time.
In other countries, women are allowed to marry at an early age, like in Iraq or Jamaica. But in other countries, they also believe in practiced arranged marriages, even up to these days. Imagine being married to a person na hindi mo naman mahal just for the family's benefit. I bet it feels like hell. And here in our country, Filipino women were not given the opportunity to vote. But now, women have had the right to be vocal, political, and to have their votes matter for around 85 years.
Mm. Women can now become the type of women they want to be in terms of politics. No, we have the late President Cory Aquino, former President Gloria Arroyo, and of course the current Vice President Lenny Robredo. na minsan nang tumakbo sa kanyang posisyon ngayon na puro lalaki ang kalaban noong 2016. And also, not to exclude, we also have Heidi Diaz, the first ever Filipina to win an Olympic medal in weightlifting, who merely broke the standard in our country that weightlifting is just for men. Not to brag, our Filipino women who brought pride and joy to our country every Miss Universe. Dahil, di ba, win streak tayo dyan for several years. And other inspiring stories of women worldwide that proves na kaya ng mga babae na makipagsabayan sa kaya naming mga lalaki.
I agree with that. The role of women has already evolved in since, no? Especially ngayon na hindi na natin maikakaila that there is now a much open mindset when it comes to the role of women. Hindi na siya tulad dati na very uptight.
Mhm. Mentioning these things, no, yung mga napag-usapan natin earlier, I want to know from your perspective, what are the challenges women at your age or like you face today?
Well, I guess it depends kasi hindi naman kami pare-pareho. May mga kanya-kanya pa rin namang differences and that is what we should always consider. But in my case, I struggle with self-doubt. Yung tipong pinagdududahan mo yung abilities mo on specific situations, lalo na kapag, let's say, baguhan ka, or on instances, we get reactions and unsolicited comments mismo from other people basing off on our gender rather than focus sa kung anong kaya namin gawin. And I think it's a common problem for most women. Lalo na ngayon that after so many years, we have a woman running for presidency again this upcoming elections. And hindi talaga madi-deny that some people throw comments na hindi naman connected or helpful in criticizing the latter's political background. And instead, ang laging pinopoint out is ang pagiging babae niya. They say that it translates to being old-fashioned, but in reality, it can be disheartening. Kumbaga, it's a challenge that people still believe or have this kind of mindset nowadays.
Mhm. Well, I do agree. Iba-iba rin talaga ang problemang kinahaharap ng mga kababaihan ngayon. I think depende rin sa kung saang social status no? Tayo kasing mga Pilipino mahilig sa label, 'di ba? Mahilig ng identification kung saan. Aminin man natin sa hindi, madalas we choose the friends we have based on our wavelength. We mostly criticize each other sa kung saan tayo nanggaling. Thus, nagkakaroon din ng madalas na boundaries between each other, just like the boundaries of the character and qualities defined of being a man or woman.
But speaking of this, do you think that women have proven themselves, especially in these trying times, such as having the pandemic?
Mhm. Siyempre naman 'no, I do think that women have already proven themselves a long time ago pa. Women have been fighting for their rights ever since no ipinanganak sila 'no. Pero kidding aside, hindi biro ang mga efforts na ginagawa ng ating mga kababaihan para lang magkaroon ng boses sa lipunan 'no. Makita ang kanilang self-worth o halaga ng mga kalalakihan na nagtataas-taasan at maramdaman na kaya rin nilang makipagsabayan sa kahit ano pa mang larangan. Just like the things that we have been talking about earlier, it all equates to the efforts of women to be seen, heard, and felt by all, wherever they are, whoever they are, and who they want to be as an individual, regardless of the societal beliefs, norms, and conditions.
This pandemic, maraming kababaihan ang napatunayan at nakilala na hindi lang basta-basta ang mga babae. In our country, we also have prominent women leaders in these trying times, such as our former Vice President Leni Robredo, and with a limited budget, she was able to launch several projects that are really helpful sa ating mga kapwa Pilipino. Also, not to exclude, one of the most known female leader is Mayor Sara Duterte. Siyempre, being a presidential daughter, she was noted as one of the emerging leaders in national politics.
Mhm, 'no? Um, Having a family member din who live in Davao, maganda at maayos din talaga ang naging tugon umano ni Mayor Sara sa kanyang lugar. Mabilis ang contact tracing because of a systematized app, maayos umano ang mga services ng hospital. Anyways, on the other hand, I just want to highlight the most influential Filipino women who most of us know. No, of course we have Catriona Gray, um our fourth Miss Universe. She is one of my most adored Miss Universe because she truly represented our country in all aspects. Also, syempre, di rin makakalimutan si Miriam Defensor Santiago, who is also known as the Iron Lady of Asia. She has a big name in the political arena of our country and international. May tuturing siyang one of the best and bravest leaders of our country. And syempre, nandyan rin si Lea Salonga, di ba? Who played the role Kim, the lead one, no? In the multi-awarded play na Miss Saigon. Now, for you, what are the best qualities that a woman in our time must possess?
Well, as particular women have proven themselves in these trying times, tama lang na nagset sila as an example of what we should look upon to in the next few years. Dito din talaga na-emphasize yung mantra na, babae ka, hindi babae lang. As they embody the best qualities of being resilient, confident, compassionate, and most importantly, being independent. Lalo na sa mga panahon na to, ito rin kasi mga qualities na talagang humuhubog sa mga kababaihan sa panahon ngayon.
Mhm. Tamang-tama. I do think that you got it right, Jean. Are resilient in the sense na kahit ano mang criticism sa matanggap, babangon at lalaban pa rin. Confident or confidence in whatever you do in achieving your goal. Compassionate in the sense that you have a heart to hear other people's side. And independent in the sense na kaya mong manindigan for yourself and other women as well. Now, I'm curious, no? Ikaw, what are you looking forward to our fellow Filipino women in the succeeding years?
Well, I'm looking forward to having our fellow Filipino women in the succeeding years continuously thriving in different respective fields. I consider na makita o ma-witness sa mga kababaihan na patuloy na namamayagpag a surely proud moment. Lalo na kapag sila'y patuloy na ibinababa sa parang isa na rito is yung pagdudahan yung skills nila, may it be from being able to justify a major responsibility or carrying the weight of millions of Filipinos. Ikaw, what are you looking forward to?
Mhm. What I am looking forward to our fellow Filipino women in the succeeding years is for them to be successfully acknowledged of their potentials. I must agree sa mga napag-usapan natin kanina that women are kind of described na weak o di naman kaya kulang o walang kayahan. Ngayon, ngayon nga marami ng mga batas ang naipatupad about sa ating mga kababaihan like the Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995. We also have the Anti-Rape Law of 1997, Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act of 2004 as far as I can remember. And syempre, marami pang iba. Despite these efforts, di natin may kakaila na marami-rami pa rin ang walang sapat na proteksyon, should I say, mula sa mga pang-aabuso, anumang uri ito. Kaya I'm really hoping that the implementation of these laws ay mas ma-intensify pa o mapaigting pa at syempre madagdagan pa sa ibang aspeto. We, the youth as the future and prime movers of our country, must be the catalyst mismo ng change that we have been longing for with regards to this matter. Since unti-unti naman nang nagbubukas ang opportunities and doors para sa mga kababaihan, nararapat lang na maipagpatuloy ito at maging ganap na ang pagtanggap sa mga kababaihan sa mga larangan o karapatan na minsan nang napagkaitan sila. At ayan, masyado atang mabilis ang oras at tapos na agad ang ating 23rd podcast episode titled Abante Babae, Rise of Filipino Women in the 21st Century.
Thank you so much for sticking around with us. Don't forget to tune in next week for another episode of KariBUkan's podcast. Huwag din kalimutan i-follow ang Budyong online on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and even on Spotify to be connected and updated of Bicol University and country's news and updates.
And you can also comment or send your suggestions on what we should feature next week. Malay nyo ang inyong suggestions ang mapili nating topic at mapag-usapan natin sa susunod na linggo.
This is again brought to you by Budyong, campus journalism towards its highest caliber. Sa muli, I am Jean Reyes.
And I am Michael Morales. We are this week's host for KariBUkan.
Adios!